Do we have receipt of evidence, opinion, and proper notice?
The County Board of Supervisors, June 16th meeting notice and agenda was posted at the Government Center building in 2 places and posted on the county website on Thursday, June 11th, 2026. In addition, on Thursday, June 11th, 2026 at 1:34 p.m., the Office of the County Clerk distributed copies of such notice and meetings to supervisors and media via email. The notice of amended agenda was posted in the Government Center, posted on the county website, and copies of such notice and meeting were distributed to the media via email Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 10:49.
Council,
That does constitute proper notice.
thank you. We'll have a roll call.
Brad Olson,
He had called me and told me he was attending virtual.
he's up there. He just has to unmute.
He's not.
Doug Rowdy.
Here.
Jim Bethke.
Here.
Pam Garvey. Here. Scott Gilbertson.
Here.
Adam Jarko.
Here.
Sharon Kelly.
Here.
Jeremy Hall.
Here.
Kim O'Connell.
Here.
Alice Morris.
Here.
Jay Luke.
Here.
Francis Duncanson. Here. Russ Arkand.
Here.
Keith Karpinski.
Here.
And John Bonaprise.
Here.
Like everybody's here.
All right. In the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anyone want to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Do we need to say it's the amended agenda? Is there amended? I got an amended agenda in front of me. Correct. Approve it as presented.
All right, the only, down on our resolutions, on resolution C, we'll hold that till 6:30. So if we get into our resolutions, we'll just move over C and then at 6:30 come back to it.
Chair, I do see that Attorney Tomey is available and online right now. So theoretically, I think we might be able to just take
All right.
it in order.
All right. Any other discussion on the agenda? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. How about our minutes from our May 19th meeting?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the May 19th meeting.
Second.
Any additions or corrections?
One correction, I believe, if saw that right, yeah, adjournment, it says adjourned by Chairman Luke.
Oh, thank you. I'll get that fixed.
Yeah, correct that.
Anything else?
Had that wrong in the last one, too.
If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Is Brad chiming in or is he still muted?
Oh, I'm here.
All right. Just a roll call.
I was switching computers.
All right, are there any public comments? Any public comments? All right. We'll move on to notice of a filed petition. Leading us on that.
Mr. Chair, this is just notice for the county board that Supervisor Jarko filed a petition to amend the shoreline ordinance. And that public hearing will be held July 15th at 9:30 at the ES committee meeting. No action required by the board.
Did you say July 30th?
15th,
15th.
not regular meeting.
Oh,
All right, that'll take us into our proposed resolutions, ordinance, and other board action. First one is a presentation petition for Lake District.
This was a petition filed. I think everybody was made aware of this. That was coming. The Loveless Lake is trying to form a lake district and they filed a petition with my office I think it was this past week. So we need to set a time for public hearing. And typically this would go to the Environmental Services Committee. So it is looking like it will show up on the July 15th. Environmental Services is a public hearing as well.
And so it's a slightly different process than a zoning petition. Comes to the board and the board is supposed to designate, hear it, and a time to hear it. And so that's why you're hearing this one does require some action on the part of the board. My suggestion would be to put it in front of the Environmental Services Committee at the same time as the other public hearing.
So you're looking for a motion to instruct them to do it or what?
Sending the petition to the Environmental Services Committee for a public hearing.
I'll make that motion for the 7:15 ES meeting. Is that all you need? Okay.
I think that's sufficient.
See it die for lack of a second. Any discussion on the motion?
I have a question. To do a lake district, they have to approve all this and have all the numbers and stuff of the people that signed and everything.
Yep, I have all of that in the petition in my office and it has been vetted by Eric Wycheck down in.
So it has been. Oh,
Yep, he has been working very
all right.
closely with
So
them.
that we understand there's a lot ahead of that.
Yep, and all of that will be given to you guys prior to that public hearing.
All right, thank
This
you.
was just the notice of it and presentation to the board.
Sure. All right.
And the statutory requirement is that a public hearing happen 30 days after the presentation to the board. So we can't postpone that public hearing, essentially. We need to have it within 30 days.
Anyone else want to comment?
Just ask a question. Mo, do you know how many lake districts there is in our county?
I do not offhand. I can look that information up for you though.
6, 5, 6. There's more than that.
Anybody else? All right, we'll move on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. All right, that'll move us. Resolution 2126. That's 2126.
That's it.
Do anything with this one?
A motion to approve the zoning district map for the town of Polk for the Peterson property. To approve.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Do we wanna do a C and go into closed session and make everyone leave, or do you think we should? What's the attorney are we paying them?
Silly question.
We are paying him.
Is he on the clock yet?
I suppose that is a question for him. I suppose I don't know.
I don't wanna make him wait, but I mean, we do have people in here, we have to ask them all to leave, then that.
I think it is appropriate to go through the rest of the resolutions and then address the closed session at the end so that we don't force people to leave and come back.
Everybody okay with that? All right, let's move to resolution 2326. Want to move on this one?
move to bring it to the board.
Half the board.
To the floor for action.
To approve it, I think we need just a touch more.
Yeah.
For discussion or to approve?
discussion.
My understanding of the motion is move to the floor for discussion.
Second.
On the floor.
We should vote on the motion to bring it to the floor.
This is true. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. All right, it's on the floor now.
This resolution updates the county's functional classification categories for our roadways, for our county roadways and our municipality roadways. And what this does is the change in classification, upgrading them gives the municipalities opportunity to apply for federal and state grants.
Anyone want to comment?
What?
But
Who does the classification?
The state looks at those.
The state
The
does.
state does that and looks at that. Usually it's by ADT
Okay.
on those roads. Where if a road's designated as a local, if we only have one county highway that's local, that doesn't qualify for federal funding. As soon as it go to be a collector or a material, then it like federal funds.
Ouch.
We have two collector roads, county.
The majority of ours are all collector or arterials. These changes now are in the municipalities in Milltown and some towns. Let's give them the opportunity.
anyone else want to comment? We probably could use a different motion. We don't have any more comments.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. What are resolution 24 or 26? I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
I would like to just address the fact that I have concerns with this resolution. And the fact that I don't know if it's really healthy for us or proper for us as a board, if we want our county deputies to be contacting us instead of maybe their sergeants or their sheriffs, undermining the chain of command because they potentially, are for fear of potential retaliation or don't like what's happening. Nor do we want our CNAs or our RNs or LPNs who are maybe having issues at Golden Age Manor with somebody with maybe in memory care that are not liking how things are being handled. I think that is well outside our scope as a board to have any of this to have county employees directed to come to us as a board. I also think it opens up a certain amount of liability for us in the idea that someone says, hey, I think this is dangerous or I think this is risky and we don't do anything. Well, now we've had proper notification and if something happens, then therefore that falls on our lap. Finally, we are not knowledgeable on things like HIPAA laws and security laws or employee protection laws. I have been a manager in the past. I have a lot of people and there's a lot of information, a lot of things that go into that. And so I think this is just opening up a whole can of worms because we currently have on the books, both state and federal, protection laws against retaliation. We have an HR department and currently this board has one employee and we have the right to manage that employee if we feel things are not happening correctly. So there's my comment.
Good.
This is my resolution, and so the reason that I've brought this is not to encourage employees to come to the board or come to us, but to acknowledge that from time to time, that does happen. In fact, it's happened with me a number of times, both before I've been on the board, while I was running for the board, and now. And what we do as board members is we encourage the employees to take it up the chain of command, right? That's what we're supposed to do. What I hear and what other supervisors have told me that they hear from time to time from employees is I'm a little concerned about that because I'm worried about retaliation. And all this is meant to do is to strengthen the anti-retaliation language that we already have in our handbook, is already in state and federal law, so that we can, when that happens, when the employees do come to us, we can give them great assurances. Here is a policy of our board that you will not be retaliated against. Take it up the chain of command to the right person. Ultimately, as an employer, we want employees to feel comfortable that they're not going to be retaliated against. And this isn't just if you have a disagreement, it's if, when an employee believes that they're seeing waste or fraud or abuse, we want that employee to be able to, if they come to a board member, for us to be able to say, take that up the chain of command, go see Joe Loso, go see Mo, go see whoever the right person is, and be able to tell them when they respond to us, I'm concerned about retaliation. You won't be retaliated against. You can't. Corporation counsel speak to this. This does not impose any obligations on the board. In fact, there's a specific provision that says that it doesn't. And I worked with corporation counsel to make sure that any of those kind of concerns are addressed so that we aren't creating liability. And Joe can certainly speak to that. When it's appropriate, I'll make a motion to amend the ordinance at the end of line 75. Joe had some additional language that we can talk about just to make darn sure that it's clear that we're not creating liability, we're not creating a contractual obligation. All I want to do is when those people come to me, I want to be able to give them assurances. You will not be retaliated against. Go take it up to your supervisor, go take it up to the next level. And I think as an employer, as a county, we should encourage that.
I'm wondering if you shouldn't get your amendments on before we have further discussion.
I sure could do that. I will move to amend this resolution at the end of line 75, and this is language directly from Corporation Counsel. At the end of line 75, it would read, quote, protections provided under this resolution do not create and should not be interpreted as creating any contractual right or relationship between the county employees or officers and the county as their employer, end quote. I'll make that motion to amend.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a second. So any discussion on the amendment?
So this is language that I proposed get added to the resolution, regardless of whether it gets passed or not. If you're going to contemplate the resolution, I would suggest that you adopt this amendment. Not that the resolution as it's written would necessarily create any kind of contractual relationship, but it's good practice when talking about the county's relationship with employees and the duty to employees, et cetera, to make sure that you very clearly delineate that you are not creating any kind of contractual relationship. So regardless of how you vote on the general resolution, it is my recommendation that you adopt the amendment.
All right, any more discussion on the amendment? Now we'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, the amendment carries. Are there any further amendments to the resolution, to the motion? Go ahead, Fran.
I don't have an amendment. I just have some comments. Is this the appropriate time for that? I just want to say that I agree with Supervisor Garvey that I have concerns about this. We have an organizational chart and a chain of command. I view this as micromanaging and stepping into something that is not our role. Our role is to set policy and legislate. There's a lot of things in this resolution that I really like and that I really agree with. But to me, it falls back on, we don't need a resolution to tell an employee to go up the chain of command. And there is already protections and languages in place. I've also seen, where if somebody is a little disgruntled, I'm going to get you in trouble. This is something that can evolve into kind of witch hunt territory. We have division directors, we have a county administrator. And if we don't think that they're doing their jobs in managing employees, Mo is our employee. That is who we would address that with. Now, when it comes to safety or something that is illegal, certainly by all means, that's something we definitely need to be aware of and know about and deal with. But I think there's just a lot of potential here for abuse, as well as, just speaking for myself, I'm not an HR expert. What if that person comes to talk to me and I inadvertently say something to them that creates a liability for the county? Now, whether we have that amendment in this or not, I think that would only go so far. I just don't think this is really necessary or needed, and I just don't view it as being our job. I view it as our division director's MO. Also, I'm curious, have there been employees here who have filed complaints about being retaliated against? I don't know. That's another question I have. If there haven't been any complaints filed, I think that we have plenty of protection in place the way that it is.
Anyone that hasn't spoken to the motion would like to speak?
Just,
Okay, go ahead.
just more of a question. Would this require rewriting of the handbook or any additional work for the county?
I can take that. So if you look at the resolution, it contemplates that the resolution as a whole would basically be added as an addendum or something to the handbook. So it in and of itself does not require a change in the language. Obviously, you can through your personnel policy. We can amend the personnel policy. This resolution doesn't do that, but you could amend the personnel policy saying that it is basically the same language that we as a county board adopt the policy that we will not retaliate against employees. And then the administrative function of the administrator is to control the handbook. The handbook should reflect policy. Ultimately, the handbook can, regardless of whether you change the personnel policy with the passing of this resolution, add that language in as sections, but if it's going to be incorporated on the end as an addendum, it probably doesn't necessarily need to get added in. So it depends is kind of the answer. But that would be an administrative function of the administrator to control the employee handbook.
Got a comment?
Did the HR look at this? Our HR look at this to see how it is compliant or not? Did HR look at it too or not? I'm wondering, it does say people hesitate to raise concerns or whatever. But it also has a state statute that already protects us from this. So I'm wondering also, I was worried about the handbook, if it had to be rewritten or whatever, just added to, if this is an addendum, is there some way or that it would be added?
So
I can.
Yeah.
Corporation counsel as far as review of statute and what it does for risk. As far as adding it to the handbook as an addendum, it would be added through our payroll system, Kronos, and then e-signed by every employee that they acknowledge that they received it, as they do with the handbook.
One of the questions, well, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the questions that I would have is, so somebody comes to me with an issue, then what do I do? What am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to say, go to your chain of command, go to HR? depending on the issue, it might be a different answer. And I have to agree with the part that it's, that might be difficult with all the board members if somebody comes forward like that and they need to, who do they go to? Who should they go to? Because ultimately it goes up to Mo. And
I would encourage the supervisor to make me aware of the concern that was brought up to them so that I can notify the division director of the concern and then we can follow up on it through the chain.
I would note, it's also in the rules of order that if a supervisor receives a complaint, it is supposed to be directed to someone within the organization, either my office,
yeah,
the administrator's office, or.
It's called.
Does that answer your question?
Not very well.
kind of.
Okay, well, you have the floor, so.
No, I don't need it any longer. I'm just concerned, I'm just concerned about that piece of it. Because I think this is great information for the employees to have, to know that we support this, we support what it's saying in here. I'm concerned about, there's 15 of us. I don't know. I have a little bit of concerns about that.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I can only tell you what I would do if someone came to me and I was somewhat concerned at all, other than go to their supervisor and feel that they can handle it. Well, I'd definitely go to our council. The minute we go to our council, you're alleviating any problem, legal problem on your own self. In fact, mostly anything of significance there where you're getting involved with the legal system, I refer to to our council, because they are the one that protects you from liability, and they're the ones that are ultimately going to answer the questions. And one question to council at the present time, is there anything now, any scenario you could think of that someone would be denied a voice in opinion in presenting their case?
There can always be bad actors within an organization. So theoretically, I am not aware of any concern about retaliation. My office hasn't been made aware of it. We have not had any litigation related to retaliation. There are statutory protections that do protect employees from that sort of action on the part of an organization. So to answer your question, I'm not aware of any concern, but that doesn't mean that one cannot arise.
Sure. Okay, that's
Pretty
fine.
good?
Yep.
All right, anyone that hasn't spoke to the,
Mr. Chair,
go ahead, Brad.
so thank you. So yeah, I guess, I'm in support of the resolution. I think we have 45,000 people in this county who can call any of us at any time and say whatever they want. And to tell 400, give or take 400 people who are employed by the county, I think to vote this down tells them you're not welcome to call a supervisor in Polk County. And I think that's a bad message for us to send. I don't think this changes state law. It just puts it out there as a reminder of the protections that our employees have. And I think it's important that our employees know that.
All right, anyone else that hasn't spoken? Wish to speak? We can have a second round if someone wants to speak again then.
I just have a question. Keith, this went through Gen Gov? Didn't it? And they recommended, they sent it to the board with a recommendation to
It was a
approve.
split vote.
It was, okay.
Anybody else?
guess I would just like to restate the fact that I am not against the idea of, I have had people come to me, and there's nothing that has stopped any one of us, if somebody comes to us, to recommend them to go to their chain of command, go to other people. This encourages, also there's specific language in here that says remedies for retaliation. An employee believes they've been subject to retaliation and violation may file a complaint directly with the county administrator, corporate counsel, or the board chair. This states that that person can file a remedy, can work on the remedy just as the county board chair, because the word "or" is in there. It also specifically says on confidentiality that, supervisors and county officials who receive the report are therefore encouraged, to the extent reasonable, practical, and consistent with Wisconsin law, the county's obligation to investigate and the rights of any person who may be subject to the report, to handle the reporting employee's identity with appropriate discretion. This, to me, makes it sound like that the supervisors are going to be involved in this, in the research, in finding out what's going on. Again, anyone that's worked for a co-op, if you have a problem in the co-op, you don't go to the board of directors. If you worked for Wells Fargo and had an issue, you don't go to the board of directors. I believe in our employees. I believe in chain of command. And I think all this truly does is throw that in the face that we've got other abilities to in essence, to not trust what the laws are that are in place and the chain of command that we currently have in place, which includes our sheriff, which includes the head of our Golden Age Manor, which includes all our district and department heads.
Anybody else?
I'll take one last time at it.
Yep.
Again, maybe I'm not doing this very well. It doesn't change the relationship between the employee and a county board member. Doesn't tell them to come to us. It doesn't tell them to circumvent the chain of command. All it does is recognize that in a situation like Supervisor Garvey just pointed out, that an employee did come to her. If you tell that employee, go see Mo or go see Joe or go see whoever the person is to go see, and they say, as I've heard them say to me a number of times, I'm worried about that. Right here, no retaliation. That's all it does. No retaliation. And of course there's a remedy. If we violate if the resolution is violated because we retaliated, then the employee should have a remedy. That's the whole point. We want the employees to go up the chain of command. And for goodness sakes, if that causes retaliation, we want them to have a remedy because we want to discourage retaliation. But again, does not in any way change what's happening right now. Does not tell people come to the board, does not force people to come to the board. It just acknowledges from time to time that happens. And when it does, we can give that employee assurance, no retaliation.
All right, last chance. Anyone else want to speak to it? All right, I'm seeing a split vote coming. And rather than me trying to call it, you're going to vote with your how does Brad vote? Is he aware how to vote?
I sent it to him, but it is technically a roll call vote, so he could say it out loud as well if he wants, and I do have his.
It's telling me that the event hasn't started on my end, so you just tell me when to vote, Russ. I think I've made it pretty clear I'm gonna vote anyway. And then
With these
I'll vote.
clickers. So it's gonna be would you call it, is this a roll call?
Yeah, it's still a roll call vote. Mhm.
So the initial just so I understand what I'm voting on, the initial motion was to approve, an amendment was made and the amendment passed and was included. So now what we're voting on is the resolution with the amendment.
Yes, it is. So a yes vote approves the resolution, no vote denies it. You ready?
Set.
Yeah.
I will vote yes, Mr. Chair.
Do I have to turn this on or?
No, you just push the,
You
push,
gotta
you gotta
one of
push the
these.
button.
You gotta push-
Green or,
The green or the red?
Yes, red is no.
everybody's in?
Hope there aren't any more.
Just making sure if you didn't want to do one last call.
Oh, yeah, we sometimes ask if anyone wants to change it. All right, it looks like it passes. All right, that'll move us to, is our attorney okay?
Yes.
All right.
Is he okay, you're asking?
Well, is he gonna be okay if we finish our couple of resolutions there?
I think so.
All right, I just don't want people to have to leave halfway through our meeting. All right, resolution 2526. Visions to the Polk County financial policy. I want to bring that to the floor.
I shall move.
I'll second.
For discussion or just how do we interpret the motion? Can you be more specific? Is it to approve the resolution or is it to bring it to the floor
It's
for
to bring it
discussion?
to the floor. I think that was our policy always to have open discussion if possible.
We'll have open discussion either way, but
Oh, well, then move.
I'll second that.
all right, it's on the floor. Is there further discussion? Maybe someone should tell us what the revisions are to the policy so that we know what we're voting on.
Yes, Mr. Chair, in the resolution itself, it calls out, the, changes to the financial policy. They bring us more in line with what was adopted by the state and the feds. Section, subchapter 5.2, section 4, it, changes the federal, acquisition threshold level to increase from 250,000 to 300,000. Subchapter 5.2, section 3, that's for public works project. The state increased that from $25,000 to $50,000. The next two are from ADRC and the state, for a procurement protest, formal process that wasn't in our policy to start with, and it adds that language, if a vendor has disagreement with how we purchase something for them. So it just brings us in line with those items.
Anyone like to comment?
So it brings us in line, but why do we have to raise it? We do not have to, do we?
You
Didn't
don't
we,
have to know.
didn't we set those limits because we thought they were high? We're a smaller county.
We set the
Three
limits
hundred and
at-
fifty seems pretty high that we're not looking into.
the previous limits were the federal limit and the state limit for each one of those.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't have to raise it to that. Is there a reason we have to raise it?
With the increase of projects and price today, it makes it much, more streamlined for projects. For, formal bidding, even though if we feel a project is gonna be above a threshold, we still go out and get bids. It alleviates the formal process for like public works projects above 25,000 to 50,000. When it doesn't take much.
Correct, but then it doesn't go through a committee, is what we're saying. At those levels, till it gets to that one, that's not right.
It goes through our procurement process. So right now, if it's above
Correct.
$25,000, we go out for formal bids where we advertise in the paper, do an RFP on that
Okay.
number. If we raise it to 50,000, if we feel it's gonna be a $30,000, staff still goes out to receive bids from several different contractors to do that job. We just don't go out and hire one. But it alleviates that formal process of putting in the paper and doing your formal.
Streamline.
It streamlines it.
Anyone else? All right, we're gonna put it to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All same sign.
Aye.
Aye.
Bill carries. All right, resolution 2626. Vote of ordinance.
Make a motion that we, approve resolution 2626.
Did this go through your
Hold on,
committee?
hold on, we don't even have a second yet.
Second.
All right. Now it's on the floor for discussion.
This is just this.
Did you,
That's
did this go through your committee?
Correct.
Anyone else like to speak to it?
I just have one question. So, this was recommended by, Environmental Services. Was that a unanimous vote or split vote?
It's on the resolution sheet.
Was unanimous.
Anyone else like to comment? We're gonna move it to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Carries. All right, we're gonna move down to our resolution C 2226. I suppose we need to get it to the floor and then a closed session. So what you recommend?
That is my recommendation.
Make a motion to move resolution 2226 to the floor. Discussion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, it's on the floor, and before we discuss it, we'll be discussing it in a closed session. So if someone would like to move us into a closed session under Wisconsin statutes 19851G.
Just to clarify, the discussion will be occurring with outside counsel as well as myself. You will have an opportunity to, when we come out of the closed session, to discuss the merits of what is in the resolution. The purpose of the closed session will be to discuss any legal implications of the decision-making. And so just to clarify that discussion on the merits is not an appropriate discussion to happen within closed session. And again, Attorney Tomey and myself will make sure that we stay compliant with open meetings.
All right, did we get a motion to go into closed?
I'll make a motion to go into closed session, Wisconsin statute 1985 1G for the purpose of conferring only.
I'll second it.
We need a roll call vote or just a voice vote?
Voice vote.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, well, Out of a motion to postpone.
How long of a recess are we have to take?
15.
15?
All right,
I don't know.
we're back in open session. We have a motion on the floor
Make a motion to recess for,
to postpone.
To postpone first to the end.
to postpone this resolution until the end.
22, 26. Is that the one?
Yes.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Not all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. All right, that'll move us on to confirmations of appointments made by the county board chairperson. And we do have another appointment to make. And we find that the West Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission, there is a spot for a regional business fund committee member, a board member. I think they're looking for someone, weren't they, from the Clear Lake, Clayton, Amory, that area,
Or Centurion Milltown.
Or Interior Milltown.
Centurion, Milltown, that area of the county. So what we're looking for is, someone to volunteer to take that committee.
So we have 3, each county has 3 representatives. And
Is that for the same committee? This is a different committee.
It's a different committee.
It's a different committee.
Those 3 members are on the commission.
Yep.
This is the committee. This is a different committee.
different
with-
committee.
That's an offshoot.
The Regional Business Fund.
Oh, fund, okay.
So we need one person. And we don't need it tonight. If anyone's interested, let me know. And if we get a couple people interested, I guess we would bring it to the board for confirming. Any other information we need to provide for them?
If someone's interested, those 2 attachments that were emailed to you can be sent to an interested individual.
Anyone have any questions on it?
You know how often they,
I don't know.
That could be their own committee, so they do it by Zoom, I think.
it's not the CDGB though,
No, it's the other one,
it's the other
the
one.
facade. No.
Yeah.
All right, are there any appointments by the county administrator?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I have one appointment of Jimmy Francis to the Local Emergency Planning Commission. Jimmy Francis is our EDC director that would be replacing Terry Hauer on that same committee.
I move for approval.
Any discussion on the appointment? Not all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Don't really have a chair report. Does some administrator have a report?
Yes, Mr. Chair, just a few things. Couple things. Mr. Chair, sales tax for May was up 3%, 5% overall over 2025. We had our jail inspection. We're waiting on a report back from the state on that. County Road M, as in Mary, north of Horse Creek, will be closed next week, June 22nd through the 25th for a culvert replacement. So look for the signs down there. The automatic boards will be going up for that. Another cost increase that we just received yesterday was the lubricant oils for highway. The vendor sent a letter saying June 18th, those prices will increase 35%. We will be going out for more bids on those to look around and see what's out there now on that item. Also, then I just want to recognize the employees of over 15 years of service with the county for June. Caitlin Anderson and Land and Water for 15 years. Shirley Rossi for 20 years at law enforcement. Don Utek, 23 years at highway. Jerry Rager, 23 years at highway. and our treasurer, Amanda Neeson, 24 years with the county. So just want to recognize them. My report is short this month. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Do we have any questions or comments for the administrator?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So, Mo, if it's going up 35%, I believe you said on June 18th, right?
Yes.
Does it pay for us to lock it in rather than go out for more bids?
I'll have to do some more research on that, on what's happening right now, if oil price is coming down, see when that bell curve will go down or not.
3 days.
I wouldn't want to lock it in at current rates at this time.
Okay.
Sense.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Do any supervisors have any reports from meetings attended, announcements?
I have. So last Friday, I attended the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development County Consortium meeting. I'm pleased to say that they are now working on site at Polaris and Osceola to assist the people who are dislocated from that plant closing and trying to keep those folks lined up with jobs here in Polk County. Also, I was elected vice president of the consortium by the supervisors from the other counties.
Anyone else have a report? All right, we're not gonna do another closed session on the notice of claims. We postponed to resolution 2626. We're gonna take a recess. 10 minutes.
Sure.
We'll take a 10-minute recess and then we'll pick up resolution 2626 when we return.
Are we gonna make a motion?
Over.
Guys, for a month.
Not at all, not at all.
Oh, really?
I don't understand that.
So we're gonna bring resolution 22-26 back to where we were before the first closed session. And was it a motion to approve?
No, we have
Yeah.
postponed.
Motion to do anything. We just had the motion to postpone.
And the motion to read.
Oh, before we went into closed session, we got brought the
Oh, yeah.
to the floor.
And then that was already voted on.
Floor not approved.
It was.
No, that wasn't voted on. We brought
Yep,
the,
bring it to the floor for discussion.
okay, so right now it's on the floor for discussion.
No, postponed. I think we have to bring it out, don't we, Joe?
It was postponed.
Right, so it was brought to the floor, we went into closed, we came back out of closed, it was postponed, so now we need to move it back to the floor, I think.
I'll make a motion to move it to the floor for discussion. I think I have to take it out of postpone. I'm thinking.
You did, you saw it.
Okay, no, but we have a motion on the floor, but do you want it for discussion? Can't take no action, but if that's what you want, that's
Whether
the
we can,
motion.
for discussion and approval. How's that?
There's
Well, there's
always discussion.
I know.
Every,
Well, let's make sure we get it in there then.
all right, so the motion is to bring it to the floor for approval with discussion.
Yes. I second.
All right, actually, we're not gonna call all those in favor. We're gonna call for discussion. Now. There's a motion on the floor. Up for discussion. Is there amendments to the,
We have to vote.
not because it's already, it's up for approval and discussion. We don't wanna vote. It'll be done if we
Okay.
vote.
Can I move to amend, Mr. Chair?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll move to amend the resolution. You follow along with me. I'll just kind of read the amendments. The whereas clauses. Fifth whereas clause, which begins, whereas to address the procedural deficiencies, delete in its entirety. The sixth whereas clause, which reads, whereas the Polk County Public Safety and Public Works Committee is the standing committee, delete in its entirety.
That's the seventh one.
Sorry, sixth and seventh.
6 and 7 are deleted.
The next whereas clause, the eighth one, whereas the Polk County Board of Supervisors wishes to insert the words, address the procedural deficiencies identified by the Circuit Court and the Court of Appeals, comma, to comply with the county's obligation to coordinate and prepare a plan for the trail, comma, and to ensure. To the actual resolutions, delete sections 1, 2, 3, and 4, because they were all about the public hearing. We're going to do the plan participation first, or the participation plan first. So what was number 5 will now be number 1. We would add in the middle of that paragraph some new language. So after the words Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources regarding the, add this language, steps necessary to reinitiate the planning process for the trail and to ensure, then we're going to delete the words scheduling, scope, and conduct of the hearing to ensure consistency of the planning process. Again, getting rid of the public hearing part of it and replacing it with the planning process. Almost done, guys. Paragraph 6. In the third line down, we're going to add the words after where it says other actions necessary to reinitiate the planning process for the trail and to, and then it will read into ensure the planning process. What was paragraph? It was double numbered. We had 6 and 6. The report and recommendation to the board paragraph, whichever number you have there.
7.
7, that's going to be deleted. No predetermination. We're gonna delete the last sentence. And that's my motion to amend. Yes.
Hold it. We got,
I'll second.
we gotta have a second. All right. Now we can have discussion on the amendment.
Number 6 becomes number 2. Number 8 becomes number 3. 9 becomes 4. 10, 5.
Okay.
Thank you.
And number 4 goes away? Or is that still in?
Out. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are out.
Okay.
Any further discussion on the amendment?
Can we get a clear copy? One day.
Soon.
Joe has it.
Okay.
Any more discussion on the amendment? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Amendment carries. We are back to the resolution.
I have another amendment.
Go
Can I-
ahead.
Is this the appropriate time to do that?
Oh my God.
I would like the amendment of striking item number 9, the authorization for hiring of outside counsel. We don't know how much money that is. We don't.
Hold on. Keep the motion
Oh,
to the
okay.
motion
Okay,
and then. Is
so,
that your motion?
yeah, my motion is to strike number 9, which is the authorization for hiring of outside counsel.
The motion is going to die if it's not seconded. We're gonna say the motion dies. Are there any other, well, we're back to the main resolution, the main motion to approve. Resolution 2226. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries. We need another closed session for our notice of claims. Do we need one, Joe?
Yes.
Somebody get us in under statutes 1985 1G. I move we do statute 1985.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
in open session, but we get a floor open for take any action. And we have one thing left to do on the agenda.
Shall we adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Too bad.
Opposed? Stand adjourned at 8 o'clock.
But